Alrighty, we got our Chapter 4 projects here, so let's get right into it. So I decided to do the Photo Prints app and then the Car Wash app. So this is the Photo Prints app right here, and here's just the main activity here. We've got like same layout there as in the book. We've got like our header here, add number, edit text fields, some radio buttons for the different sizes of the prints there, and then an order prints button, as well as a little text view down here that we display the cost in. So there we go. What else we've got? And as usual, all of that text. I do need to fix this app name. 1 second here. So actually, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was looking at the actual text app name and thinking that was the text, but forgot for just a second that that's actually the name of the app. So still, it's all good there. So yeah, so we've got all of our text resources over here in strings.xml. So really, I guess all that's left then is the code. We do have somewhere our icon. Yep, there. But let's see. So basically, for the code here, I've got up at the top, I've got some final float variables here that hold the cost depending on the size. So you know, the 4x6 cost, the 5x7 cost, and the 8x10 cost. And those are final. That way that they can't be changed, you know, by accident in the code. Now over here, these 3 lines right here actually tell the program to display the launcher icon there on the action bar. So that makes that camera icon show up there on the action bar. And right here, this nice little block of code references all the controls there in my activity. So we've got our 3 radio buttons, the order button, which I guess I should probably make final. Yeah, there we go, make that final. And so yeah, and then as well as our edit text and text view controls. We've got all those referenced here. Now what we do, we add an on-click listener to the order button. And now what that's going to do, right here, whenever the user clicks that button, we're going to get the number of prints from the edit text control there. And then we're going to create this decimal format called currency, so we can format that correctly whenever we display it. And I'm going to display this, or well, I'm going to declare this cost variable up here. Now that way I don't have to declare it every single time I do this here. Alright, so now all we've got is that we check to see if the number of prints is within a certain range, because we're told there in the problem that it has to be that they can't have a number greater than 50 for the number of prints, but also you can't have a number less than 0 for the prints. So it has to be between 0 and 50, because it just wouldn't make sense to have a negative value for the prints. So we check right here to make sure that it's between the value 0 and 50 inclusive. And now what we do basically is just go through here, and there's 3, well, there's a chain here that's like these if and else if statements. And what these do, this checks to see what size it is, what the dimensions of the print is. So right here, if it's 4x6, then we'll calculate the cost as the number of prints times the cost for a 4x6 print. And then we'll display that cost right here by setting the cost labels text equal to this value right here, like the order is, and the cost formatted in currency format. And we do the exact same thing for 5x6 and 8x10. And then down here, there's just a little toast warning that I wrote in to let the user know if they're outside of that 0 through 50 range. So that way they can tell them, you know, that they've entered an invalid number. Although I don't think you can actually enter negative numbers with the edit text controls, but that's just there in case maybe I were, you know, actually developing an application like this, and then I had changed the control, and it did allow negative values. You know, that just rules that possibility out. Or if there was some way that they managed to edit or enter a negative value. So, but let's see, that's pretty much all the code. there. Yeah. Alright. So let me go ahead and run the program. Yeah, so I've actually got it figured out now where I can run these programs directly on my phone when I'm developing them, so that definitely speeds up the process. But here we go, we've got our emulator loaded up now, and this is the PhotoPrints application in action here. So here's the launcher icon there on the action bar. They did a pretty good job with that. I really like how that was designed. Let's see. We've got the oh well, I'm not going to read through all the text on it, but let's see. So we'll enter a number of prints, and let's just do something simple like the value 1, and we'll say OK, and then we'll do 4x6 and open prints, or order prints I should say, and the order cost is $0.19. And we'll do some more complicated values in a second involving the other ones. But if we enter a value 50 that's 51 or greater and try to do this again, so there's that keyboard glitch again. Or prints. See, you must enter a number of prints between 0 and 50. So let's do something else. We'll say, we'll just use 10 is actually a pretty good number for something like this. Yeah, let's do that. So then we see $1.09 or 90 cents. And then we'll do that. And $4.90. That is $7.90. There we go. Alright, so that demonstrates it. And we'll try it with some more complex values. Well, that keyboard will work. There we go. So now you can see that, and that. There we go. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and load up the other program. Alrighty, and now we've got the car wash application loaded up. So here we can see we've got all the controls that we need for this application. Our header, our discount header there, or like a subheader. Then an edit text there for the number of washes. Some radio buttons that allow us to select exterior only or exterior with interior vacuum. So the kind of wash, I guess. And then we have the calculate package button. And right here, although you can't see it, is until you click on it, is a label there for the cost. And that the cost will be displayed in there once it's calculated. And then here's an image view control with the car wash picture on it. Okay, and this is created with the what is it? app.appcompat.light theme as requested by the problem description. And as per usual, we have all of our strings here in the strings.xml file. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the code then. A little bit more code on this one, but kind of the same process. So right here, we have our different costs. Now, the trick with this program versus the other one was that you have different costs for the same exact service, depending on whether or not you get a discount. And we have right here the exterior cost is $10.99, but with the discount, it's $8.99. So I have the costs and without the discount and the cost with the discount. So that ends up giving us 4 separate costs and 4 separate cases. Alright, so right here we display the custom icon there on the action bar. These 3 lines of code here, and then we also reference all the controls on our main activity there. The let's see, the edit text, text view, our 2 radio buttons, and then the calculate button. Alright, so we put an on-click listener here on the calculate button, and then whenever a user clicks that button, we'll get the number of washes from that edit text for the numbers, for the number of washes. We'll create a decimal format called currency so that we can format our outputted cost there in currency format. and then we'll create a float here called cost, and this will hold the cost of the washes. Alright, so I still check to see if the number is greater than or equal to 0, just to be on the safe side. That way, there's no way that the user can, enter a negative value and get it accepted. And looks like I might have taken out the toast message for that. 1 second. Yeah, so it looks like I might have forgot to add that in, so I went back and added in the else part of that if statement, and we've got a toast message right here that tells the user that they have to enter a number, that they can't enter a negative number for the number of washes. So when we got that added in, and of course you can't really test that since the control does not support negative number entry. But it's definitely there in case, the application were to change or something and then, accept negative values for some reason. So just kind of a safeguard for that. But if the number of washes is greater than or equal to 0, then we check to see if they're eligible for the discount. And the criteria for that is if they get 12 or more washes. So check for that right here. And this is for the discounted cost. So if they got 12 or more exterior only washes, then we calculate that the cost for that. And then if they asked for 12 or more exterior and vacuum washes there, then we calculate the cost for that as well. And we do a similar process down here. There's an else statement, since we already know. I don't even have to check to see if it's less than 12 because we already know it's greater than 0. And if it's greater than or equal to 12, then it's, they get the discounted cost. So the only other possible case is if it's between 0 and 11 inclusive. So we don't even have to. It would be redundant there to do an else if statement. So we automatically do the toast message here, and tell the user that they have to get 12 or more washes to get the discount. And then if they ask for the exterior only wash, then we calculate the cost for that. And also if they ask for the exterior and vacuum wash, then we calculate the cost for that as well. And now I streamlined this one versus the other program because I was going to have to write this exact same code 4 times. So I just pulled it down to the bottom here, and instead of displaying it within these if statements, I just display it at the bottom and calculate the cost up here. Alright, so then we display the number of washes here. And then I think we already went over that toast message. So let me go ahead and load up the emulator then. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and test this program here. So we've got it running now. And we're going to enter a value of 1 here for the washes. And this is for the non-discount price. There's that keyboard glitch again. Alright, so exterior only. And that gives us the exact value there for the price per wash. And also notice there's the toast message there that tells the user they need 12 or more for the discount. And we'll do this right here, $15.99 for 1 washes. Well, I got looking at that, and that's how the book had written that, was just to say washes. So decided to do that, but versus trying to get into actually having to change the text depending on that. But I don't know, it'd be fun to do that though eventually. Anyways though, let me see, we gotta do 12 at least to get the exterior or discount price, I mean. Let's see. Alright, so there, I did that with my calculator earlier, and now we'll do this one as well. And we can also see that it'll work with values much larger. Like that. There we go. And of course there's not really any way for me to test negative values since it won't accept negative numbers, but that's that safeguard's definitely there. But there we go. Alrighty, I think that wraps up our Chapter 4 projects.